And hello, everyone. This is Elliot Serrano for the Chicago Red Eye and Geek to Me, coming to you from the Wizard World Chicago Comic-Con in Rosemont. It's kind of like a long
You did
thing.
well, though. You did really well.
The first couple I've done, I've just been stumbling.
Can I add a little zest to it?
Yeah.
The Chicago Wizard World right here in Rosemont, Illinois.
There you go.
Because especially you have to learn, since this is your hometown, you've got to...
You gotta sell it.
You got to sell it. You've got to... I don't want to say pander or suck up, but essentially that's what you need to do everywhere.
That's how you get the heat or the pop, as they say. The heat.
The cheap pop. It's not... Heat and pop aren't the same exact thing, although they can be.
They can be.
Yes.
And for those of you, and I know, he doesn't need me to introduce him, but for the non-geeks who watch Geek to Me, this is the man known as the hardcore legend, Mick Foley. Mick?
Thank you.
I gotta say, this is really...
And for those who don't know, I developed that name as a result of some of my earlier work in, in male-on-male pornography.
Really?
But yeah.
Okay, so I saw...
You noticed that wrestling stuff?
Yeah, no,
Oh,
I saw Young Stallions.
That was me.
That was really impressive.
That was me, yeah.
It was really impressive.
Me with a mask and a bodysuit on.
And that was before CGI could kind of
create special... I don't know if they've infiltrated the world of adult yet, have they?
Well, now that it's going to be in 3D now.
That's all we need.
Can you imagine?
No, I can't imagine. Oh, just an effect. All right. Oh. Watch it there, pal.
So you're here in Chicago at the Chicago Comic-Con. How's the show been?
You know what? It's been it's always interesting, but when over here in the signing area, we don't have a chance to walk around and see everything just yet. So it's been a little slow, which Fridays usually are. Saturday will be the big day, but one of the things that the slow pace affords us is the opportunity to go back just behind this curtain, for example. Right behind there is a legendary female wrestler, Lita, Amy Dumas. I hadn't seen her in a few years, and so you have all these great reunions taking place. And for guys who like to watch other guys hug, there's no better place to do that than when at the reunion of old wrestlers. I mean, it's been said that the hug that I shared with Diamond Dallas Page bordered on the obscene. It was long.
Adrienne Curry calls Comic-Con a sausage fest.
Really?
Yeah.
Meaning there's more men than women here?
Yeah.
And they're mostly single men. I guess it just goes without saying. Most of them are flying solo.
Right.
But you know what? I'd say the highlight of the show for me was when I went up to say hello to Angie Everhart. Angie was signing, and she looked up, and nobody can fake the type of enthusiasm she showed for me. Because she does. She and I have a little history. We go back, and she got the big smile, and it was a prolonged hug that was, It was intense. It was very warm, but yet there was nothing obscene about it. Whereas me and DDP, there was just legs and arms, and it wasn't for the faint at heart.
It was like that scene in Young Stallions.
Yeah,
it was like, I hear they're doing a special edition of that. You're going to, remaster it.
Wait, I actually don't even know what Young Stallions is, but apparently you do. Fill me in, and I don't mean that in a graphic sexual nature. This has really gone in the...
I got to keep it PG-13.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, so tell us about, I know you're working on a book now, aren't you?
Well, it's technically, I'm not working on it anymore because it comes out October 1st.
Okay.
Very excited about it for reasons other than financial. Really, I did a lot of work on it, and quite a bit of the money will go to some causes I work closely with, and so I'm hoping that in addition to being enjoyable reading, it will create some awareness for some things that don't get talked about very often.
Do you mind filling us in about it?
Sure. RAIN is one of them, which is Rape, Abuse, Incest National Network for men or women who are suffering, from have been victims of sexual assault or rape. And the other one goes to victims of the Civil War in Sierra Leone, namely victims of sexual abuse. So I'm trying to do a little bit to create awareness for the situation that women find themselves in around the world. I'm not kidding. There's no punchline at the end of this.
No,
but I thought it was something that, guys certainly weren't talking about at all. and that there was room, room for everybody. I mean, I don't care if every wrestler got involved; it still wouldn't be enough talking. But it'll give me a chance, hopefully, to get out there and let people know it's a situation that, unlike a lot of natural catastrophes, can be stopped, and just has to be stopped through, behavior modification.
Actually, there's a former Blackhawks player that wrote up, and I feel so bad. I'm forgetting his name right now. Talked about he was sexually assaulted as a youth and was doing a lot of speaking to that.
It takes a lot for somebody who's been through that to become the name or the face for an organization, because it's not the type of cause that people wear shirts for. It's not something you put a bracelet on. It's something that victims tend to try to move on from instead of getting organized. So this person, I've heard about him, but I don't know his name either. That he deserves an awful lot of credit for attaching his name and persona to a cause that's pretty miserable to talk about.
Right.
We were having fun just a few minutes ago, right?
Way to bring us down, Mick.
Sorry about that, man.
No, not at all. Actually, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you talking about that and doing something for that. What's the book called?
Book is called Countdown to Lockdown, and I got the name because it's an in-depth look. The 6 weeks preceding a major show called Lockdown, where I would be in the main event for the first time in many years. So it's a journal leading up to Lockdown, and I was calling all the journals themselves, the entries, Countdown to Lockdown, 33 days, 21 days, 8 days, and so it was suggested that would make a good title for the book.
And who's publishing it?
This is being published by Joe's Books. No, I'm Joe. I publish books. No, it's Grand Central Publishing, and I'm going to be doing 16 or 17. That guy was really touchy. This guy kept coming over and he touched me 25 times and wanted me to do, just wanted me to, hey, tell me about this, tell me about that, and expressed no interest at all in picking up one of these bad boys. So I had to shut him down big time.
The publisher.
Grand Central Publishing. We're doing a 16-city book tour, and I'll have that on, my Twitter account, which is @Real Mick Foley, and we'll be talking about it on TNAWrestling.com as well.
Real quick, talking about TNA Wrestling, I know you were you've been a part of it now for what,
2 years.
2 years?
Yep.
What's that experience been like?
It's been a very positive experience. We've had our ups and downs, but I think now we're on the uptick. People seem to be really involved in what they're seeing on television, and sometimes all it takes is that one big rivalry to really spark people's imaginations, and things take off. So we know that it is unlikely that any wrestling company will take off like WCW and WWE did, in the mid to late 90s. But worldwide, there's more people watching wrestling than ever, and I'm just glad to hear that you guys get such major coverage in parts of Southeast Asia where I'm particularly beloved.
Okay, last two questions. One, why didn't they call you to be part of the Expendables?
Oh, because I believe the Expendables...
I'm sorry, why did you pass on the role? That's the story. Stallone asked him to be in the Expendables. He said no. Why did you pass?
Well, Sly mentioned to me that one of the prerequisites was that every actor have had a history of good action movies, to their credit. And I pointed out to Sly that I hadn't actually done one of those action movies, although I was awesome in Warren the Ape. Don't believe me? Check out www.warren.mtv.com. Honestly, the best and most fun role I've had away from wrestling.
Well, and the
not counting the Daily Show, Jon Stewart. I enjoyed those too.
And so the other question was, and this is where I'm going to hit you with one of those questions that like the folks at Star Trek are accustomed to getting all the time, like in episode. I'm not having my career correlated with Star Wars or Star Trek. No.
All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Go for it.
so that
It's
match,
the same fans. All right,
that
I don't want.
match on Monday Nitro with Ron Simmons, you were Cactus Jack, and you did that bit when you went through the ropes and you were hanging like to your neck.
Yeah.
Like that. Did that hurt?
On Monday Nitro. First, it wasn't Monday Nitro.
I forget.
You know what?
I'm a bad wrestling
There was a pay-per-view match I did with Ron Simmons where I did get my head caught in the ropes, and it did hurt and should have proved as a warning to me to not try a similar move, but I didn't listen, and a few months later I found myself in Munich, Germany, caught my head in the ropes, lost my ear. So that's a warning out there to all you kids. Don't try to catch your head in the ropes. And if you spent a couple nights in an emergency room getting 40 or 50 stitches put on that ear, quit while you're ahead or quit while you're an ear.
I'll tell you, I shit you not when I say this. You're hanging in the ropes, and I was screaming at the television, somebody help him. And Ron Simmons had to look like, and then I think he did like the bit where he hit you in the face.
And he was simultaneous. I think he was actually helping me get out of there too. Yeah, that was my move for a long time. It was my exclusive territory because nobody else was stupid enough to do it. And then I showed the world why by losing that bad boy in action.
The book is called Countdown the Lockdown.
Yep.
The author is Mick Foley.
I wrote it all by hand. No ghostwriter. Yep.
The Hardcore Legend. Can you send us out with a bang bang?
No, but I can say. Oh yeah, I can. I was going to border on an R. I was going to equate my doing it by hand with most of your sex lives. You know what I mean? I decided not to go there. Bang bang. Have a nice day.
And this has been Geek to Me.